at ATL Talks in Atlanta, Georgia, and everyone getting out there to vote for those 2 Senate seats. So we love you.
That's what I'm talking.
You are listening to KUAW Radio, home of the all-new Jamal Bakes Show, and I'm Jamal Bakes, and thank you so very much for listening to the station bringing you talk, news, entertainment that you won't get anywhere else. KUAW in, of, and about our community.
This is the last weekend before Christmas, and on Blue Simon the City, we're wrapping up our All Christmas Blues and Southern Soul program.
Gene Bailey.
We have a very special guest that you will definitely enjoy, and we'll hear from some of the artists that sing the Christmas blues. Join me, Gene Bailey, for Blue Simon in the City this weekend before Christmas, right here.
This is comedian Janelle Banks, and you are listening to KUAW, Kansas City.
KUAW listeners, this is Carl Boyd for Wave Your Grades, coming to you every Saturday from 1 until 2 p.m. right here on KUAW. This program features American students striving for excellence in honor of our troops and American veterans, encouraging American students. Please join us every Saturday from 1 until 2 p.m. right here on KUAW.
Now on the air in Kansas City, the Cheryl Underwood Show.
We are proud to be part of the KUAW family.
The Cheryl Underwood Show. Weekdays Monday through Friday at 12 noon. KUAW around the world on KUAW.org.
Todd Tribbett, we gonna be all right here on the Jamal Bakes Show. I'm your brother in Christ, Jamal Bakes. Thank you all so very much for hanging out with me, fam, for another weekend, all right? We've got a big show for you, man. As always, the Rose Show Live will be here with her Faith Move next. And we talked to my man, the Laugh Therapist, later on in the show. We've got music on the way from Doe. We've got Corinne Hawthorne, Keandra Lockett, brand new William McDowell. Cannot wait to share that one with you as well, all right? And a whole lot more. Listen, follow me right now on social media.
Bank of Blue Valley is a proud sponsor of KUAW Radio. At Bank of Blue Valley, we believe that an understanding of financial values sets individuals up for a strong future. Whether you want to talk about checking and savings accounts, review lending alternatives, or discuss starting your own business, we have the right people to listen and advise. Visit us at bankbv.com to get started today. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Hey, you're tuned in to KUAW Radio. That's knowledge, understanding, and wisdom. Kansas City's global community radio station. I'm sorry, these headphones are not comfortable. Okay. Kansas City's global community radio station. This is The Truth Be Told with myself, T Baby. How you guys doing? If you have a business or an event that you would like sponsor here on KUAW, make sure to send us an email at kuaw985@gmail.com. You can call in anytime during this live broadcast at 816-599-6893. That number is scrolling across the top of your screen. So at any time during this live broadcast you would like to call in, please feel free to do so. I encourage it. You can find us 24/7 on the World Wide Web, www.kuaw.org. If you're watching me live on Facebook, hey. And if you're listening to me over the air via TuneIn, Periscope, the website, and you would like to watch me live, hop over to our Facebook page, KUAW-Radio, or our YouTube page, KUAW Radio. Make sure to like and subscribe to both of those pages and invite your family and friends so that they can share in the the great content that we have here at KUAW. We are a listener-sponsored station, so at any time God placed it on your heart to bless us with a love donation, please feel free to do so at any of those avenues. We are available on all social media websites, Twitter, Instagram, Periscope, you name it, Twitch. Just look us up, KUAW. Make sure to like and subscribe. Okay, so I mean, y'all already know how we got to start this off. How about them cheese? Okay. been a lot of hate throughout the season nationally, you know what I'm saying, from people. It's like we can't get no respect. So hopefully after these next 2 weeks, about 3 weeks, we get the respect that we deserve out here in these streets. I'm excited. This is an exciting time to be a Kansas City Chiefs fan, just like it was last year. Shoot, it was kind of exciting the year before that, you know, and we didn't even go to the Super Bowl. We was close. We should have had though. But yeah, so, you know, and it's just, again, we always state this, but if you a diehard Chiefs fan, you know the struggles that we done been through with this team. And so it's just an exciting time. I'm excited to see Patrick Mahomes versus Brady, like, again, you know. So, because we tied right now, 1-1. So this it. This it right here. So I'm excited, man. Y'all let me know, drop in the comments or whatever. Like, just give me a good go Chiefs if you with the Chiefs. If you with Tampa, you know, you got some diehard Brady fans out there that's going, you know, and listen, no disrespect to the GOAT, but the young GOAT is on the way. Okay? Nah, but yeah, so I'm excited, Kansas City. I'm mad we're not going to be able to have a parade, though. But of course, why would we be able to have a parade? You know what I'm saying? Like, with everything going on. Hi, Mrs. Walker. With everything going on and everything in the world with COVID and stuff. So it's like, yeah, it makes sense that we won't be able to have a parade, you know. But hey, hopefully when all this is over, we'll get a makeup parade in the summertime or something. That would be fun. But yeah, that was a little disappointing to look at that news that we wouldn't be able to have a parade when we win. But yeah, so that's what's up. What else has been going on that I kind of want to talk about before I get into my the meat and potatoes of the show? Oh, okay. So Biden is in office now. We didn't have too many problems. I didn't hear about any riot. Oh, wait, let's bag it up. Back to this Chiefs game. The Kansas City Police Department with Trey Songz. Listen here, okay? Nah. But no, really, okay, so the stuff that happened with Trey Songz was crazy, you know what I'm saying? Like, when people come to Kansas City, we shouldn't really have to deal with these things or whatever with, you know, KCPD and everything. And there's been a lot of conflicting stories. I'm waiting to hear, you know, what comes of this, you know, like what type of charges and everything, if any, will be charged and everything like that. For you guys that do not know, Trey Songz was attending the game on Sunday. Like I said, there's several different stories. Now, one story is that, you know, some people, he was in like general seats and everything like that. Some fans were heckling him from behind. He turned around, trying to tell him to calm down and everything like that. Next thing you know, the police came, and from what the video, you know, shows and everything, from where that picks up, it looks like he just tried to like attack him or something, you know. And Trey Songz, they said that he punched the cop, put the cop in a headlock. He was arrested for trespassing, and everybody kept saying, well, how was he trespassing? Because he had bought a ticket to the game. Well, if you are asked to leave the stadium and you refuse, at that point, it is trespassing. They said it was going against some conduct issues that, you know, were in the stadium. Some people say it was a mask issue, which from what you've seen on the video, I don't feel like what we saw in the video is what should be caused by, you know, not wearing a mask. One, he was outside. He did have a mask because, you know, they're probably not even letting you in the stadium if you do not have a mask. You know, you have to walk in and ask. There was pictures of him taking pictures with security and everything like that. He had on a mask and everything like that. So I don't see necessarily how someone coming to tell him to put on a mask will cause everything that, you know, was seen in that video. So and will result into everything that had happened. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, we gotta wait till, you know, a few more details come out. I'm pretty sure he can't speak on it. He may though, because, you know, Trey Songz, he doesn't really hold his tongue and everything like that. So we will see, what comes of it and everything like that. I hate that it had to happen in Kansas City. Like, y'all know another thing that I've been seeing ever since like we start winning and stuff like that. I be seeing these vacation packages coming up talking about take a vacation to Kansas City, and you look like this is not no vacation. Oh, if you're in Kansas City, be safe because it's cold and icy outside. So yeah, okay. So now let's move forward to these executive orders. Now, after this presidential election, there wasn't a lot of we didn't see any riots or anything, or protests, whatever you want to call them. We didn't see anything going down. Now, for everyone that watched the inauguration, first of all, everyone was looking beautiful. What stuck out to me was, and I don't know if you know this, Mr. Walker, and if you guys, anyone watching, please drop it in the comments, but how do they decide what book do they get sworn in on? Because did y'all see that book? The person getting sworn in picks it. Okay, because that book that Biden, or that they used this time, that big old thick old book, I'm like, what is that? You know what I'm saying? But I actually had some people look it up, so I'm gonna tell y'all what that book was in case y'all didn't, because I did actually look it up, because I wanted to know. I don't know how to get to, let me see, here we go. I wanted to know, what the book was and everything like that, because I had never seen it before. So the book was actually a rare 1884 Catholic Antique Family Bible, Haydock Dewey Rims. I don't even know what that means. It says, this is the book that proves the multiple Jesus deception, a Masonic trick referred to as the Da Vinci Code. In the text section, a beautiful Bible. This book, this actual Bible cost is $4,750. Woo! Now, baby, if a book costs $4,750, I want to know what's in that book. I'm sorry. I'm a knowledge junkie. I don't know if you guys are, everything that we talk and discuss here on The Truth Be Told, I tell you guys to make sure, research everything. Don't take anything for what I say as, just like what it is as the bottom line or nothing like that. You can research any and everything is available for us to research these days. And we have to exercise that, that strength, that right, so that we even have that available to us these days to help us and on this path of knowledge. You know what I'm saying? But just make sure that you have more than one source. Like, you have to double check these sources. You got to research the source and research the source and research the source. Like, you got to research is the source of the source of the source of the source. You got to keep going back and doing all these and doing proper research into the things that, we go around and speak on and everything like that. So I'm not going to lie to y'all. This book, again, it's an 1884 Catholic Antique Family Bible, Haydock Dewey Rims edition, I guess, and it's $4,750. Okay, my next $5,000 is going to this book. Not just you got a savings account for books. No, but that's how serious it be sometimes. Like, we used to even how we talk about, like, sometimes back in the day, like how people used to have libraries and things like that. So it's good to, if you want to have a savings account to build up your personal library and everything like that. I believe that's a very smart idea, because knowledge is infinite and it can always be passed down to generation through generation, so books are very important to build like a family legacy and things on or whatever, and get, good books in your family's, library. So yeah. Okay, so also with that, so we're talking about some of these executive orders. Now, we went through this whole process that we've been going through, talking about the election and voting and everything like that. So now that we've moved past this point of, voting and who's in office and everything like that, it's like, make sure that we still pay attention to the things that are going on, because we just got to be aware, not expect someone to come in and just have best interest for the people at heart. We still got to do the checks and balances of everything, right? So I've been paying attention to these executive orders because I feel like it's very important to look at the executive orders that a president signs, especially within like the first 100 days, because most of it is undoing what the last president did. You know what I'm saying? Like as a pattern from what we see, it's mostly doing undoing what the last president did, right? So yeah, so we definitely have to pay attention to that. And so the one in particularly that I want to talk about today that, you know, really has been on my heart was the executive order to allow transgenders to participate in girls sports in schools and stuff, right? So now, granted, we've talked about this on The Truth Be Told before, okay? If you are a loyal listener of The Truth Be Told, I'm pretty sure you can recall what we talked about. And so I'm sorry, y'all, I forgot to send somebody a link that I was supposed to send, so I'm just trying to send it out now. So yeah, okay. So we talked about this on The Truth Be Told before, right? And again, I don't have, well, let me not say this. It's not that I don't have anything, I don't see that anything's wrong with transgenders, okay? However, when we start to talk about children, you know what I'm saying? It's to me it should be held a little higher in as a more serious matter than it actually is today. You know what I'm saying? Because when we allow these things, okay, for instance, and we're gonna get back to this girls sports things, right? For instance, JoJo Swivel, right? The little, is that her name? That's how you say it? You know what I'm talking about? Hand attention. So I think it's like JoJo Swivel or something like that. She's like just turned like 16. She's like a teenage pop star or something like that. JoJo Swivel, JoJo Seawall, something. JoJo something. Y'all look it up. JoJo something. And but she like took her Instagram, basically coming out as a lesbian, right? And you had parents. Yeah, you had parents that was like comment on her, things like, my children won't be listening to your music anymore, or, I won't be buying any more concert tickets for your children and everything like that. And so I had seen a comment, about it. And it's like, look, what you want to do is what you want to do, but you also have to be aware of your audience. So if your audience is mainly children, why are you even putting your sex life out there? You know what I'm saying? Like your sexuality or anything like that, because these children are imitating what they see and what they do and who they look up to and everything like that. So it's like influencing a whole generation of children. And that's also, we see it in the media all the time, right? Because we still got Dwayne Wade's child and now this JoJo girl, and then, it's a lot of stuff in cartoons and things like that or whatever. So these things are coming out there. And so when if we open it up to schools, are we making it we're making it a choice, or we're making it seem like, I don't want to say that, I don't want to say not normal, okay? Because I don't want to use that language, you know what I'm saying? Because I don't want anyone to ever think that like I'm putting them down or anything like that. But but I'm just saying, like, it's just encouraging, it's like it's encouraging behavior. And so now, and my whole thing with the sports thing in school and everything like that, my whole thing with that is physically, boys and girls develop differently, right? I don't care whether you identify as a girl or, like whatever, like that's fine. But scientifically, physically, you develop the development is different. You know what I'm saying? It's different. So on them ages, and I can say this as fact because I was very, very fast, when I ran track for a long time. Like prior to school, I, as a child, I ran track for a long time. So I was very trained and developed. I was very fast, especially in school. once I got into middle school, high school, and things like that, I'm running track. People, you're very fast, especially for a girl. You always hear that, especially for a girl, right? And the boys' times were always faster. It doesn't matter. It didn't matter. It could be the slowest dude on the boys' team, right? Time's still faster than mine. You know what I'm saying? Maybe. But, we're just built differently. So once you open up this lane to where you are putting transgender children or transgender boys in girl sports, they're gonna dominate that sport. They are going to it's gonna lessen opportunities for young girls as far as like scholarships and just like showing their skills and everything like that, because they're not gonna be winning the same amount of races. They're not gonna be winning the same amount of state championships. They're not gonna be being recognized on those national levels and everything like that, because you have these transgender girls, which are really boys, you know what I'm saying, that come in and they're gonna literally dominate the sport. Can you imagine your middle school daughter, or something like that, playing basketball and then on the other side is, have you ever seen the difference between the WNBA and the NBA? You know what I'm saying? The minute that a transgender girl fouls another girl on you know what I'm saying, I think like it's gonna be ridiculous. Even when they were letting transgender adults in like women's sports like UFC and everything like that, that transgender busted that girl's skull in the UFC fight. And because we can train the same all day long, we can go through the same training regimen and everything like that. We can do everything exactly the same. However, we're still going to come out different on the end of it. I can go in there and train with a male counterpart. We can be the same size and everything like that. But if we doing the same exercises and everything like that, his body is going to develop stronger than mine. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm a woman and we're built differently to develop like that. You don't agree? We're built differently to develop like that. So what happens to these what happens to these little girls in these sports? You know what I'm saying? When we let transgender children in these sports and they start dominating them, and then what happens to their self-esteem? What happens to their chances of college scholarships and things like that? Like, those are the things I feel like we're not thinking about when we want to be fair to everyone and all this other kind, and not all this other kind of stuff, but want to be fair to everyone and make sure everyone feels like they're included and has proper representation and everything like that. And here again, I'm not saying that you shouldn't do that. I'm not saying that you shouldn't do that. Well, why not create their own sports lane? You know what I'm saying? If we want to go to this all-inclusive thing, everybody's fair and everything like that, then we might as well develop a transgender lane of sports from middle school on up, on professional levels and everything. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, they're not going to let a transgender woman in the NBA. You know what I'm saying? Are they gonna let a transgender? And then you gotta understand that it said, and here's another thing that kind of bothered me. It said transgenders into girls sports. So what about transgender girls? Do they not get to go into boys sports? Do they not get to compete with the boys? But the boys get to compete with the girls. You got to look at the language of these things that they're signing. They didn't sign it to make it seem equally. They said the boys can play with the girls, but they not saying that the girls. If I'm a girl and I identify as a boy, I want to be a boy. You ain't about to go let me on the boys basketball team. You ain't about to let me play football. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're not gonna let a girl get on the football field. So it's like, what's the agenda? Why is it just one way? Why is it not vice versa? You know what I'm saying? So, and it's like, I said last week I was going to work on that, you know what I'm saying, stuff and everything like that. But I get hyped about this, y'all, just because I got my little sister is in sports. You know what she I got to say it again. She runs track. She plays basketball, So I can't imagine my niece, she plays basketball. If y'all look at my personal Facebook page, you see my niece hooping all over my basketball, all over my Facebook page, you know. So it's like I can't imagine that my niece, and they foul the heck out of her right now. I'll already be ready to jump out the stands when I'm in an actual game, and they girls, you know. So just imagine if it was a boy on the opposite side of that. And that really hurt her. They can elbow her, make her bleed, bust her nose or something like that because they're physically stronger than her. No matter if they practice with her, work out with her, whatever, they're physically stronger, you know. And then so then I guess you can say if they take the hormone pills, you know, it may reduce it somehow, which I'm not really sure. I haven't done a lot of studying on the hormones and things that they give transgenders and everything like that. And even if your child is transgender, are you giving your child hormones, you know, to help them through this process? Like, are you really pumping the child that's not even really fully developed you know, with foreign hormones, because it's foreign to their body? Because, you know, well, not necessarily, because we contain both hormones. You're just getting more of one than the other. So I guess it's not necessarily foreign to their body. However, it's, you know, it's something different. It's outside of the norm, you know. So it's like, are you really pumping them for the hormones? Or are you just letting them explore? Because I couldn't necessarily see, and we talked about this when we talked about, you know, Dwayne Wade's child. Like, I couldn't necessarily see pumping my 13-year-old son full of hormones for him to become a girl. Because what if he's 16, 17, 18 and he decide that ain't the life that he want no more? Like, you know what I'm saying? And then now he got all these hormones and everything in his body, then changed, messing with his DNA, and it's just too much. You know, as a parent, I couldn't understand, and I'm not a parent, you know, but if I was a parent, I couldn't really understand like why you would put your child through that, or why you would allow your child, you know what I'm saying, to go through that. So it's like, are they even taking hormones to suppress the differences in growth between boys and girls, you know? And next is gonna be bathrooms, you know. And then with the bathrooms, it's like with the bathrooms, what are you expecting? So what are we gonna have the number of rape cases going up and all kind of things like that? Like, what are you expect by integrating these people? Because that's just like, if you go to jail, if you're a transgender and you go to jail, I don't think they put you in a jail cell that you identify as. I think they go with your birth certificate. See, everybody was mad at Trump when Trump said that when he signed that executive order that said that you had to play sports according to what was on your birth certificate. You know what I'm saying? It's not about what you identify as. And then here we go. We ain't even been a month in yet, and they're ripping all this stuff apart and allowing these things to take place. And now you gotta think about, now granted, there's not really a lot of in-person school right now, so you know, you really got to think about, I guess, like the bathroom situation or anything like that. I noticed when I was at the airport, they had like a lot of family bathrooms. A lot of places that I'm going, I see a lot of family bathrooms, which I feel like are cool, because you know, I feel like that's fine. You know, they could use a family bathroom. It's meant for a man and a woman, a child, whatever. It's meant for whoever, you know. So that's fine. But when you start saying that, since you identify, because my thing of it is how can you decide who identifies and who's dressing up in costume, right? Because say that, I mean, I just feel like it's giving more ammunition for rape on both ends. You know what I'm saying? I feel like it's opening up a Pandora's box. I feel like we're gonna spiral down a rabbit hole really fast. You know what I'm saying? Like, for real, I feel like we're just gonna spiral down a rabbit hole really fast, because it's like, where does it stop? Where does the inclusion stop? You know what I'm saying? And so if we're starting this now and we're including them in sports, we're including them in bathrooms and everything like that, it's like, where is the line going to be drawn? There is no line. There is no line for it to be drawn, or there's no line that, you know, is going to stop it. It's just going to keep growing more and more. So it's like, you know, I just pray for our nation. You know what I'm saying? As our future generations and stuff go, just because I just don't see transgenders being included in girl sports. I just don't see how that's helpful to anyone. You know what I'm saying? I understand it's like, okay, they want to feel included. All right, fine. Give them their own sports. You know what I'm saying? Like, give them their own sports. Let them play against each other. You know what I'm saying? Like, for real. Like, it is what it is. Give them their own sports league. You know, but I mean, because honestly, I'm just saying, I don't want my 12-year-old niece playing basketball against a boy. You know, just because that boy identifies as a girl. But what I was saying is, how you gonna know the difference? We doing these bathrooms, right? So in the public or whatever, they making these bathrooms and stuff where, you know, transgenders can go into the whatever bathroom they identify as. So what's gonna stop a man, a rapist, a serial rapist? Because we know this is a mentality. What's gonna stop him dressing up? Okay, I identify as a woman. I'm a woman. You know what I'm saying? Just to go in a woman's bathroom or whatever. You know what I'm saying? What's gonna stop things like that? You ain't got no armed security at the door. Like, are you a real transgender? Are you pretending? Like, you know what I'm saying? I just feel like it's just gonna open up a Pandora's box. And once we open up that hole, it's gonna be hard to close. You know, it's gonna be a lot of other things that go in that transpires from those decisions and everything like that. But hey, what can we do about it? What can we really do about it? Because this is who we voted in office. They gonna sign all the executive orders and things that they want to. Now here's my question. I'm gonna ask people in the studio with me, because y'all ain't writing nothing. Nah, just do executive orders get voted on? They don't go through the city and represent exactly. They go straight into law, right? I believe so. So it's like, yeah. So it's like, man, look, pray for us. Pray, you know what I'm saying? That's all I can say is just pray for us, because this is the beginning of the next four years. We could be 8. You know what I'm saying? We don't know. We don't know what this is. Executive orders state mandatory requirements for the executive branch and have the effect of law. They are issued in relation to a law passed by Congress, are based on powers granted to the president in the Constitution, and must be consistent with those authorities. Yeah, so it's just ridiculous, you know. And like I said, I'm watching these executive orders, because if y'all not paying attention, trust and believe, y'all, those things some things will slip by you that you didn't even know was going on or whatever, all through an executive order. I got to take a break. It's about that time. Or no, I don't got to take a break today. Nah. You don't? I need a break. Nah. You can do it for me? Oh, okay. Well, so, and then I'm trying to think. So then you had you had them keeping score of the executive orders of who they've been in favor for. I did see something today though that said that he's gonna reinstate Obamacare, which I definitely agree with that. But of course he's gonna do that. Obama's homie. Obama said, as soon as you get in there, you reinstate. Not just playing. But yeah, so I got to take a break. I just ask that you guys bear with me. We're going to pay a couple of bills and we'll be right back.
All right, you're listening to KUAW Radio, Kansas City's global community radio station. We don't only bring you videos on Facebook and YouTube, but listen to our audio only, where you'll get shows like Cheryl Underwood and Blues Time in the City. You can pick us up at www.kuaw.org or go to the TuneIn app and search KUAW. Listen to us. We're on 24 hours a day. That's KUAW Radio, Kansas City's global community radio station. And this is what you hear every day from noon till 2. Don't miss the Cheryl Underwood Show.
Where you at, baby?
Sure, I'm at my first alma mater, Clark Atlanta University in Atlanta, Georgia. CAU was the first HBCU in the southern United States. Shout out to our affiliate ATL Talks in Atlanta, Georgia, and everyone getting out there to vote for those 2 Senate seats. We love you.
That's what I'm talking.
You are listening to KUAW Radio, home of the all-new Jamal Bakes Show, and I'm Jamal Bakes, and thank you so very much for listening to the station bringing you talk, news, entertainment that you won't get anywhere else. KUAWN, of and about our community.
This is the last weekend before Christmas, and on Blue Side, Mississippi, we're wrapping, get it, wrapping up our all Christmas blues and Southern Soul program.
Gene Bailey.
We have a very special guest that you will definitely enjoy, and we'll hear from some of the artists that sing the Christmas blues. Join me, Gene Bailey, for Blue Side, Mississippi, this weekend before Christmas, right here.
This is comedian Janelle Banks, and you are listening to KUAW, Kansas City.
KUAW listeners, this is Carl Boyd for Wave Your Grades, coming to you every Saturday from 1 until 2 p.m. right here on KUAW. This program features American students striving for excellence in honor of our troops and American veterans, encouraging American students. Please join us every Saturday from 1 until 2 p.m. right here on KUAW.
It's like being on the phone. Okay, and we're back. So I appreciate you guys bearing with us and letting us.
We are proud to be part of the KUAW.
There I am. Now I'm back. I appreciate you guys bearing with us and letting us get our sponsorships out the way. Again, if you having a business or an event that you'll like sponsor here on KUAW, make sure to email us at kuaw985@gmail.com. We do check our emails, so help us help you. Yeah, I think that's all I wanted to plug. So yeah. Okay, so now I'm gonna leave the executive orders alone. I'm sure I have another one to talk about next week. But I want to move into the second half of the show. I know a lot of times on the Truth Be Told, y'all hear me say thoughts are things, right? And how our thoughts control our reality, and how that we have to really be aware of the thoughts that we hold. Every single thought, not some thoughts, not majority of them, every single thought. Like when you can control or have the awareness of to counteract any negative thoughts and trying to turn negative thoughts into positive thoughts, and you are consciously doing this and moving through this every day, eventually, or not eventually, you will start seeing results in your reality of what you're seeing. You know what I'm saying? You will feel different, you will see things different and everything like that. But this week I wanted to go a step further, because we always talk about thoughts, and I don't want to make it seem like out here that we out here doing magic or anything like that or whatever. And don't think that it's just a thought. So you say, well, T-Baby said if I hold this thought, it was going to happen. Now we got to understand that it's work and guidance that goes into all these things, that goes into everything that you really want. Like, you don't really get anything without work. And so I want to make sure that I let you guys know that there's actual work that goes in behind creating the reality that you want besides your thoughts, because it's your words and deeds as well. And so me personally, I have been working on, writing down a plan. Like for me, I have my plan in my head, like in my mind, I know what I plan to do. When I get up in the morning, I know what I plan to do today, and when I first wake up and I think about it, but if I don't actually write it down, it's not really a plan, because sometime during that day, you're going to forget something. You know what I'm saying? Something's going to slip your mind, or, something like that or whatever. So, but when you actually write it down and you can check off the list, and it's more than a to-do list as well. It's more than a to-do list. If you have a plan in your life, I like to evaluate myself. Personally, I like to do a self-evaluation. I really do a self-evaluation every day. I, try to, be better than I was yesterday. Was it something that I did yesterday that I could have did differently? I wouldn't necessarily say change, because I'm pretty aware of the things that I can change or whatever. So it's like, what choice did I make that I could have made a better decision or a better choice, or, of what I did. Like if I could do it over, but going forward, how would I do it differently? Right. Because you can't live in yesterday. You really can't. That's how you that's how you get depressed, right? It's I think it's Buddha. I believe it's Buddha. And it's, if you are living in the past like yesterday, then if you're depressed, then you're living in the past. If you're anxious, then you're living in the future. But if you're at peace, then you're living at present. You're living in present moment, right? And it's always good to be aware and conscious of the present moment, of the moment that you are in. That's why I like, social media and things like that. We go on vacations. We're so caught up in taking pictures. You got to take a picture of everything you eat, everything you see. Like, what I'm saying? Everything for stuff. It's like, are you really enjoying the moment of what it is that you're doing in your life at that moment, So that's what being present in a moment means. So I really don't like to, hinder on, what like the bad things or challenging things, that may have happened yesterday. But what I was saying is like, it's not just like a to-do list that, that you would do every day. Like, yeah, you should make a to-do list to make sure that you hit your goals. Even writing down a goal, like if you have goals, a lot of people do it, around New Year's. Again, me personally, I'll use my birthday as my New Year. So that's when I'm going to reevaluate my goals. How have I hit them? How close am I to them? I'm be honest with you guys. What I'm telling you is what I'm working on myself. I am not a master at it. You know what I'm saying? I'm nowhere near, because again, I'm one of those type of people that, I have goals, but I can't go to no notebook and open it up and say, well, yeah, this is my 5-year goal and this is my 10-year goal. Like, it's just in my mind. And we have to get those things out of our minds and put them on paper so that we can easily come back if we feel like we have got off track to a goal, or we feel like, a lot of times you feel like you're not really moving forward, and so you got to go look and do evaluation at your goals and see like that, and come up with plans to next steps to make those goals. See, once you got a goal, you got to break it down in steps. That becomes the plan. And then your to-do list is supposed to, mark out things that's going to help with those steps to that plan. Right? So that every day you're getting closer and closer to the goal that you're trying to accomplish. If you got time frames on it, everything like that, but write down an actual physical copy of a plan. Now, what I come to, and you guys can share with me, what yours, dropping in the comments or whatever. But my thing is, and I'm not necessarily going to say procrastination, but I feel like sometimes so many things, we have our hands in so many different pots. We have so many things going on that we don't really take the time to sit and actually make a plan and stick to the plan and reevaluate that plan, just because life throws so many different things at us every day, especially depending on what you do. A lot of people, a lot of us are working on generational wealth, so we have multiple streams of income, and the more they say, if you want to establish real wealth, you should have at least 7 streams of income, right? So if you having 7 streams of income, see, about 4 of mine need to be in my sleep, making money in my sleep. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. About 4 of my streams of income need to be residual income that I don't have to really do anything for. Something that I placed in motion that just continuously make money. However, if you don't have that and you have to actually, put in work for each of these incomes to generate income, each of these avenues to generate income, then, life throws you, something that goes wrong, like at one business, it's just anything can happen. And your mind is moving so fast. It's like life is just, it seems like sometimes it's just moving so fast and you don't really take the time to write out what it is that you want to do. And I have to emphasize write out, because technology now have you speaking into the phone, putting it in your notes, storing it away in your iCloud, things like, no, you need something, which yes, you can go back and look at those things. You can. I guess you could consider me old fashioned, you know what I'm saying? I'm an old soul anyway. So, but I need the actual pen and paper. I like to see it in writing. I like to see it in my own handwriting. Like, I like to visualize these things on paper, so when I look at it and I read it back in my own words in my own handwriting, I ain't got Siri auto correcting or anything like that. Like, you are able to manifest these things. You are able to manifest these things faster, in a sense, with more clarity. Like, you have more clarity once your thoughts and your words, on your papers back up what's in your mind and back up your thoughts. You know what I'm saying? That's when your deeds start to align and people start to come into your life that that offers opportunities that's going to help you reach to your goals. That's going to be those stepping stones to your goals, but you have to be able to be aligned to be able to recognize those opportunities, to recognize when these people come to you. Because if you don't understand right now, if you don't understand the concept that God, however, the higher power, however you may address them, call them, or whatever, he speaks to man through man. It's a caller for me. Oh, I got a caller. Hey, I know. Okay. Hey, Queen. I love the name, by the way.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm great. So I kind of got connected to you on Instagram and Clubhouse, and I just wanted to tune in. And I've been listening for a little while now. I can't comment, but on Facebook, I decided to call.
Uh-huh.
And I would like to say that everything that you're saying makes 100% sense. And I know that even for myself, like I've written down goals for myself, and I feel like it's easier to manifest when you get a pen and a paper and you write it down and you look at it every day and you kind of work towards it. Like even if there was a day where I had a goal and I didn't cross it off the list or whatever, I was slacking. Just having that to visually see that and that I actually wrote down, it helped me a lot. So everything that you're saying that I'm listening to so far, I just wanted to say you're doing a great job, and I agree with your topic and everything.
Okay, I love that. So tell the listeners where you're calling from.
I'm calling from New York.
Okay, New York in the house. Well, I definitely appreciate you tuning in and listening, and definitely I hope I say something that resonates with you, or maybe helping you, or that you may be stuck on, because I definitely believe in manifestation. I believe in the power that we our God-given power, in a sense, that we have to create these things for ourselves, to create this reality for ourselves. And it's crazy because the generation that we're in now, it's like we're going to have to teach this to future generations, right? Because we had to figure out these things on our own. Like, we weren't taught these type of things in school. A lot of people aren't taught these type of things in, in their church homes or things like that. These are things that we actually have to go out and research on our own. So I definitely, I love being able to just speak on it and things like, so that, somebody may hear something that they didn't really think of before. Because like I said, I'm the type of, was there anything, I guess I don't want to hold you on the whole time or whatever. I'm so used to Clubhouse nowadays. But was there anything else that you wanted to state before we got off the line?
No, I honestly believe that. And just for anyone else who's out there listening, just if you have something that you want and that that you want for your life, it is very important, like you said, to just write it down and look at it. Not only that you write it down and you look at it, but actually work towards it every single day. It might be, sometimes it can be a little hard or whatever, because you wanting to get that end result. But the most important part besides the end result is the steps that you take to get there.
Right.
So a lot of people do say manifestation is not good, it's not of God, but honestly, it's like, if you have, all things are possible through Christ who strengthens you, and if you have faith, that faith can like move a mountain, rather than if you don't have faith or you're not trying. So just keep on listening to this queen. She's amazing, and I'm really happy that I tuned in today.
All right, thank
I don't
you.
hold you guys, but I just want to say thank you.
Okay, well, thank you for listening. Thank you for having the courage to call in. I really appreciate you listening and tuning in tonight.
All right, take care.
Have a blessed night, love.
Now.
Alrighty. So there's a couple of things that that I kind of want to touch on real quick within this last 10 minutes that the sister was saying. When we have to understand, like, it gets hard, it gets frustrating. I don't want to use the word hard, but I want to say frustrating, because we have this concept of time. Oh, okay. Hey, darling. But okay, so we have this concept of time as humans, right? As humans that walk this earth, right? As people, we have this concept of time, these 24 hours in this day, this clock that we wrap our life around, you know what I'm saying? This concept of time. What we have to understand is that, when manifesting these things is not on the same time frame as we envision or as we're used to. And you know, a lot of people say it's God's timing, not your timing. You know what I'm saying? And so like the higher powers, the most high, his timing is not the same as the concept as the way that we conceive time through our minds, right? So we have to be patient and know that everything is coming, everything is working for our greater good, because sometimes you can get things too fast, you know, and you weren't actually ready for it yet because you tried to skip some steps, or you know what I'm saying, something like that, and then you end up losing everything. So you gotta have faith in the Most High's timing, and have patience and understanding. And if you feel like you get to a point where you're frustrated or something, just meditate. You know what I'm saying? Take a deep breath, reevaluate your goals, reevaluate where you are, because sometimes it just takes a little gratitude to a gratitude of appreciation of where we're at to get us to where we are supposed to be going. You know what I'm saying? Or to keep us on a path of where it's go or where we are going. But you have to be grateful. You got to be grateful for the things that you have in this moment. You got to be grateful for where you are in your life in this moment, you know? Even if you don't like, because gratitude is going to help with that manifestation process as well, you know. So we have to be just aligned with that and in tune with that, you know. But definitely, and when we write things down and we're able to go back and read them, and you know, I love I be having notebooks and stuff. I used to have a notebook right next to my bed, because I used to write if I wake up in the middle of the night, or if I wake up out my sleep or something like that, or first thing I wake up in the morning, I had a dream that I can vividly remember, I'm gonna write it down. You know, I go back years later reading stuff that I wrote, like, dang, I never did that, or you know what I'm saying, like, dang, that's a good you know, and it can resurface itself. So you never know how writing things down, because like I said, we depend so much on technology these days. But what if you got all your whole $1 million worth of ideas in your iPhone, then your iPhone break, your iCloud hacked? You can't, you know what I'm saying? It's just too many things that can go on with it. So using that pencil and paper, you know, I don't want to call it witchcraft, but we talk about spells, like, you know what I'm saying? But using that pencil and paper and being able to, like I said, see things in your own handwriting, you know, it helps you stay on a path. If you feel like you're getting off some days, you know, it helps you get back to where you need to be. Just get in alignment, you know, with the Most High to create what it is that you want to create for yourself. I feel like that's very important in our people, because it's kind of like the opposite of, you know, everything that you've been taught. You know, you've been taught to go out, work for somebody. You've been taught that to get your education from somebody else, get your food from somebody else, like everything that your religion from somebody else, like everything that we actually consider a part of what we do today has come from someone else. You know, it's like just the programming and things like that. So it's like when you get into these truths of manifestation and the powers and things that you hold within you, the thoughts of things and creating your own reality and things like that, when these type of truths start coming to you, you got to act on those things. And there's certain procedures and things that go along with that. And like I stated earlier, you know, watching your thoughts, controlling your thoughts, being very aware and conscious of the thoughts that you are putting out into the atmosphere. Not some thoughts, not majority of the thoughts, all the thoughts, every single last one of them, you know, because that's how we can also make sure that we stay in a good mental space, to make sure that we stay in a good mental frequency. You know, we talk about all these mental illnesses, depression, anxiety, all these type of things that, you know, I had kind of stated earlier. It's like when we get caught up in those things, we're not focusing our thoughts, you know, we're not controlling our thoughts. You know, we're not controlling when we let our emotions control us. You know, when we react off of emotions instead of responding to situations, you know, like it's so much. It break down into it. I couldn't never give it all to you in 1 hour. I really can't. You know, I've been on the air for about 3 years now, and I don't think I brushed the surface. Not just like, yeah, we brushed the surface. But yeah. So just like a small recap, you know, what we're going to take the time. Self-care is the best care. I ain't gonna lie. I heard on Clubhouse, you know, say that or whatever, which it is something that I know, you know, that I live by, because I'm gonna take the time out for myself. Whatever I feel it is that I need in that moment, you know, I'm gonna take that time out for myself, because if I do not, it doesn't benefit anyone else around me. You know, it doesn't benefit anyone else around you for you to be in a messed up mental space, you know? So you always got to want to be the best version of yourself. So make sure that you are being aware of the thoughts that you are holding. Make sure that you are consciously changing those negative thoughts that you're having into positive ones, contradicting those negative thoughts with positive ones, with a couple of positive ones, you know? Like for every negative thought, I need about 2 or 3 positive thoughts around that same issue. You know what I'm saying? Counteract these frequencies. Use this energy, use this power, use this universe to your advantage. You know what I'm saying? We and you will, and I promise, if you just try it for 90 days, I promise you will start to see a difference in your life. You're going to start seeing difference in your conditions. You're going to start seeing difference in the way that you feel. You're going to start seeing the difference in the things that happen to you. Like you're not, I see some comments. Oh, what if I can't read my own handwriting? Oh, he said, I can't read my own handwriting, so I type everything. And that's okay. If you're one of those type of people, you type everything, all I can say is print it out and use a highlighter. You know what I'm saying? No, for real. Look, and when you evaluate your plan, you know, when you, however, and you can do it in whatever time frames and things, you know, like I use my birthday, I use a year, but you can evaluate yourself every 90 days. You can evaluate yourself every week. Just depends on what you're trying to manifest, you know? But so like I'm saying, so you can type it out, you know, if you do type it out, I would just say print it. You know, print it out where it is tangible, where you can go and, like I said, use a highlighter, highlight where you at, what have you accomplished, check off, cross off things, you know what I'm saying? Things like that. I just feel like tangibly having something tangible that you can look at is going to help you have more visualization. Is that, I'm saying it right? It took a while, but I got it. Yeah. But it's going to help you have more visualization of what it is that you're trying to bring into manifest. Because you got to be able to see it. You're going to be able to feel it. Like if I can read it every day or every other day or once a week, I'm going to be able to feel like I'm already in that position. And that's how the law of attraction works. You know, that's why I talk about the universal laws so much, because the universal laws with the law of attraction, you got to be able to visualize. You got to be able to see yourself in the things that you want. You got to be able to feel like you have those things or whatever, just to vibrate on the frequencies that's going to attract those things to you, or going to attract the opportunities that's going to allow you to bring whatever it is that you're trying to attract into manifestation. But that's my time. I hope you guys enjoyed the show tonight. Again, like, share, subscribe to KUAW pages. Appreciate the caller that we had today. Shout out to New York for tapping in. So just real quick, ye are the children of, this is the Holy Covenant of Asiatic Nation. Ye are the children of one Father, provided for by his care, and the breast of one mother have given ye suck. Let the bonds of affection therefore unite thee with thy brothers, that peace and happiness may dwell in our Father's house. And when you separate in the world, remember the relation that bondeth you to love and unity, and prefer not a stranger before thy own blood. If thy brothers in adversity, assist him. If thy sisters in trouble, forsake her not. So shall the fortunes of thy Father contribute to the support of his whole race, and his care be continued to you all in your love to each other. Peace.
All right, you're listening to KUAW Radio, Kansas